Hello, everyone. I am the last speaker from Latvia. My name is Zanda Segliņ. I am from Nature Conservation Agency of Latvia. We are agency working for ministry called Environmental Protection and Regional Development Ministry. So I'm like a little bit between government and scientists. So today's topic I will tell you is not so strictly connected to the topic rivers, but mostly implementation of the biodiversity strategy for 2030 in Latvia. So general information. My colleague already told you about the Latvia, but this is how it looks on the map. We have like 35% of the land use is for agriculture and almost 50% of the land use is forests. We have coastline of 500 kilometers and total river length is a little bit more less than 40,000 kilometers. And almost 1/3 of these rivers are regulated. So this is like basic information you need to know. And we have 8 different specially protected nature territories in Latvia. Germans had 2, we have 8, but it's not all. We have some extra also. These territories are divided in the different jurisdiction in these parts. Like one territory, like strict nature reserves are territories for more nature things. And for example, nature monuments are protecting alleys, geological, geomorphological features in the nature, and for example, like that. Also, we have 7 marine protected areas. In the presentation further, I will not tell you about the goal to achieve 30% sea territory protected, because we have one ongoing project right now, live project called Reef. And if everything goes well in this project, we will achieve this goal through this project, and we will have 30%. And also we have one other protected territory type, microreserves. The main information about this one is that it's not bigger than 30 hectares. And it's for exact species protection or habitat protection in concrete area. For example, black stork pear and territory around it is protected in microreserve. And also these territories have buffer zones. So how it looks on the map. These are protected territories of Latvia. As I mentioned, the protection levels are different, it varies. And for example, the biggest one we have, it's Biosphere Reservoir. We have one of it. And actually the protection for the nature is really low in this territory. But it still have some regulations in this area. And to achieve the goal that we have to cover 30% of the terrestrial land to be protected, right now we are on the stage that we have the 12% of terrestrial territory already in Natura 2000 network. Logical step, there are not all territories we are dividing as protected territories, so we can include all territories we have to raise the number to 18.2% terrestrial territory is protected. And we understand that it's not 30 yet. So the first thing we started is it looks like cheese, I know, but when I saw the German map, I saw it's okay. Mm-hmm. The green spots are future nature protected territories, mainly excluding like this bigger one. They are going to be nature reserves, so pretty high protection level. And we are already implementing this in real life. So we are changing regulations, regulating which territories are protected, and already working on implementing everything of this our institution is working on the scientific information database to prove the government that this territory is okay to be protected and why we have to protect it. And the main strategy why we use these territories, of course, in our country, it's a really big problem if land is by the private owner. So they don't want the regulations because, as I mentioned, almost 50% are forest lands. So there is a lot of money in these territories. And Latvian state have a forestry company, and these all territories, the biggest part of them are state-owned lands in forests, mainly protecting habitat 90-80, the Fennoscandian Dictyo swamp woods, because we had problem in Latvia. Europe already started some violations that we don't protect this territory enough. So we are already starting to implement this. It's almost sure that the government will approve this because it's government land. We have some talks about this already, and so it's just implementing process. Also, this territory, it's for that species protection. It's Barbastrella barbastrellus. And this is low protection for territory because it's mainly for the concrete species we have to protect, we want to protect in this area. And if we add everything we have here, the green dots, we have 20.18% only protected territories. So we are still missing almost 10% of the land, terrestrial land, to be in the protected territory map. So we didn't include micro-reserves yet and micro-reserve buffer zones. So we also will include these ones. And the list of the species I already told, maybe, that are regulated in the law, what kind of species can be protected in micro-reserves. For you as a river enthusiast, these can be interesting species, the mussels, and also for 5 different fish species, not the breeding side, but sprouting site. Sprouting site in the river for 5 different fish species are in this one. Also, in the future, we already know that there will be one more extra military polygon in Latvia. We already have experience with this. We have a military polygon already as also a protected territory, and it shows a really big, good impact for biodiversity. So we know that this can work really well. So we can also add this territory for the nature protected territories. And also some other future protected territories are they are being needed to provide where to put these territories and what we will protect them. So our organization created a project to show which places are the best for the protection, and project already ended last year. It cost us 150,000 euros. The money was from State Regional Development Agency, and it is like a tool we can use. And this is in the next the next presentation slides, I will tell you more about this because we're happy we have this tool. And I hope maybe someone can have a thoughts to maybe include something like this in their country also, because it really helps us to provide the information government needs, also implementing information not for biodiversity, but also for society, what they need. And the first part of this project was to understand what kind of systematic selection of scientific publications and project was done, and evaluation of different life interreg, corridor, and progress projects was done. They found they were using these keywords to find experience already existing in projects or publications. What is the best method to do this, finding these territories? And they understood the best thing to use is spatial conservation prioritization. That means the country is divided in smaller divisions. Every division have a value. It can be inputted with nature values, habitat, ecosystem, and service they provide these territories exact. So also other factors are taken into the account, for example, cost, land use needs, property rights, and things like that. Also, this approach also includes the spatial characteristics and connectivity, which is really important for nature conservation. And also we can put a different weight for different data we put in to understand if we want to protect nature plus protect some local people needs, we can build model through this, or we can change the weight for the data coming in, which is the best. So, and the tool they recognized will be the best spatial prioritization tool, zonation. It provides something like this. In the end, the red territories are the valuable ones with the highest biodiversity. It reminds us of the biodiverse meadow or biodiverse river banks. So we hope this would work. The next step for the project was to understand what kind of data we have, because programmers told us if you put trash in diamonds, you get trash. So it's really important to have a good quality data. They checked availability for the data, quality, quantity, coverage, and data we used already was, my colleague already said we have nature data management system OAK. There are all nature data we have inside this one. So we also used other different data like agricultural land soil data, population density, data of existing territorial plants, and invasive species distribution, and so on. So we put in, for example, this is the scale 1 square kilometer division in Latvia. And you can see here the UA habitat distribution. The system provides you with this map, where this is the distribution, the topic territories. For example, habitat conservation status. If it's red, it's better, white is worse. So there are some peaks you can see already, which are better for the nature conservation, the biotop habitat quality. Also, a water ecological valuation map. This is product my colleague already told. We have from one research. They also find the main obstacles impacting the water ecological values. So we input all these data in and add these, like divide these data in 3 different criteria: ecological values and connectivity and other factors like socio-economical factors, biophysical conditions, and so on. And the good part, like all data are divided in these criteria. And the best part is that you can add like total 100 points. You can give like weight to every kind of data. So 20%, 20 points to biodiversity data, 10 points to some kind of other data, and how it looks in a different ways. So I showed my colleague this slide and she said, do you have some kind of mistake? It looks all the same. And there are 4 different types of data inserted in these maps. So the first one on the top left is ecological values and ecosystem services as the main goal. Little bit change this ecological values and economical meanings. Little bit change is ecological values and Natura 2000 existing network. And this is all together combined. So this will help us to understand already where to put the next future protected territories. And this already shows that, oh, sorry, it shows that, for example, here we have a capital city, and all along the capital city is green, so it's a really high density, really good territory to be protected. And this shows that we have to add for the protected territories the local parks, city forests, and also one extra thing, but which we couldn't provide. We have a law that regulates the banks of the rivers, the buffer zone. Like in this parameter, it will be this one. The buffer zone rule, we have it in regulation already, but we couldn't input it in this model because the data is not covered for all country. It's like 2/3 we have this data, but 1/3 we don't have this data yet in good quality to put in this model. So project ended, and now the government to understand if this system really good work, if it works really good, maybe we can add this also, these buffer zones along the rivers. Also the wideness of the buffer zone is from 10 meters to 500 meters. It depends from the river length, from the location in city, outside the city. And also we could add the buffer zone along the coastline. It's from 50 meters to 300 meters. We have this already in regulation. We don't have it already like 100% in territorial planning documents. So we have a finances right now, and we will add, raise the quality of these data and put them also in the model to understand better which of this will work. And maybe we can add this one also to the future protected territories. And this is really good for rivers, because as you understand, this is really important part to raise the quality for the rivers. And this works for all rivers, no exceptions. So this is really good thought. And this is a really nice thing that the project ended, we have a model, but we can still add some data easily. We have a money, so we will do it. It's really, we will be done with this data, I think, in the end of the summer. We already know who will be dealing with this. And we also can change the values. It really helps for the government to take the important information. Okay, you show a model, but it's not only on the biological features. It's also for the society needed features, for economical features. You can add also everything in, and they don't have an argument. So this is really good tool, and we hope it will work because it's still in progress. We also the ministries and the government is working on this to understand if the result from the project will be implemented in real life. So we hope we will reach the goal 30% of terrestrial territory protected. I don't know how Germany will do it with 5%. No way, I think. But also we understand that if the territory is protected doesn't mean it will be better quality. But also this comes with some future thoughts that we take the regulations more stricter, raise the needs for the biology and biodiversity, and I hope it will end well for us. So thank you. These are nice views from my hometown. Also the Nature Conservation Agency. The agency is somewhere here. So it's we live in the biggest protected territory for rivers, River Valley Gauja National Park. And this is a golden autumn in Gauja. Every Latvian in his life at least once have been there. So thank you for all. I think that's all for me today.